Hey guys, good evening. It's Cyanide from AOE India, and welcome to the stream. We'll be casting the quarterfinals today of the PeaceX Seamedu League for Age of Empires 2, and I have my co-caster here with me, Anirudh. So I assume he'll unmute himself at some point. Hey man, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, welcome man. So
Yes,
how was the experience yesterday?
it was very nice.
Right,
Like,
right. So today we are looking at the quarterfinals. There are four of them. So let me
mhm,
just look at the brackets here. So game one will be between Football Altruist and Butcherati.
yeah,
Game two will be Reminishu versus Barun. Both of them are actually friends, so that should be an interesting game. Game three is Mekashin versus Lakshman, and
uh,
game four is Bomberman versus Overseeker. So we have some interesting games lined up here today.
yep. It
And
should be very interesting today.
yeah, absolutely. And I believe one of the games that we'll be watching should be quite interesting to watch because I've been told of the strategy that was executed. So I think it's actually the first game itself. It's Bucciarati versus Football Altruist.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, what I'll do is I'll just load the replay and we can
Wait,
start
I will
casting the
also
first
load
game.
it.
Okay, so I've paused it at 1 second. And just give me a second here. Yeah, so
Gujarati versus football artist, right?
yes, so it's Bucciarati versus Football Altruist. I'll just
Yeah, loading.
what I'll do is I'll just enable the in-game overlay so I can look at the chat at the same time. And just give me a second here. Yeah, so I am ready to go on my side. Hi Nitesh Mishra, good evening. And Rahul, no, Viking doesn't suck unless you're their opponents. Vikings are one of the best civs in the game. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
you're Viking
yes,
man.
yes, yes. I mean, these days I don't play Vikings as much as I used to, but I still love the civ. So, anyway, fair enough. I am ready to go. I have paused at 1 second.
I'm at two. Yeah, but
Yeah, now I'm at three, so I can basically, I guess we can just start.
yeah, we can just go.
Yeah, so that's, we're live in three, two, one, let's go.
Let's go.
Rahul, if you're talking about nerfing them that badly, then they should do a nomad start without any villagers. Try and play that. So yeah. Anyway, we have Butcherati in the blue playing as the Persians, and on the other side we have Football Altruist playing as the Mayans in red. Uh, if we look at the maps here, Football Altruist actually has a pretty awful map because he has no safe goals. He's got a safe woodline at the back and he's got a safe stone. Maybe the berries are slightly secure, but all of his golds are like awful. One of his golds is pretty much out of his base. The other two are so far ahead that they might as well just be neutral golds. So yeah, Football Ultra's base is pretty awful, and the issue he has here is he basically has a hill right in front of his secondary stone.
Right.
So
So tell me something. No? Tell me about this matchup, Mayans versus Persians.
right,
Like how?
so Mines is basically an archer civ, right?
Right.
And like Mayans can always go for eagles. The problem is that it can easily be countered because like the moment you get an opponent going for eagles, the standard transition is to go into long swords or two-handed swordsmen, which is what we saw in yesterday's game, right? So
Mm.
eagles, while they are a very good unit, it's something that you should always try and restrict to just raiding the opponent rather than as your main military. So in that sense, Mayans is I would consider mainly an archer civ. On the other side, the Persians are a superb civ. Like they are good on water and land. I mean, we don't have any water on Arabia, so if you are just looking at land matchups, They get some extremely good cavalry, they get gunpowder, they have a very open tech tree. And with DE basically, they get this technology, unique technology, which is called command run, which means that their crossbows, they cannot get arbalests, but their crossbows, which you get the upgrade in Castle Age, they don't cost any gold. So they are incredibly cheap, and in late game usually you're never going to have issues with wood availability anyway. So you can just keep spamming these trash bows as they are called.
Okay.
And I mean, they are an extremely powerful unit if you want to start raiding your opponent. At the same time, their knights also get the attack bonus, so they are an extremely good cavalry civ as well. They get their potions war elephants, which we usually don't see in 1v1s or even in team games because they are a very expensive and slow unit. But that is always an option. Apart from that, they get camels, which I don't expect to see on this map because Mayans, they don't get access to cavalry, so making camels is pointless anyway. But
Yep.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. So I want to talk to you about this. Butcherati is playing as the Persians. Now you might not be aware of this. Unfortunately, actually, Butcherati has two idle villagers next to his lumber camp, which he seems to have forgotten about. But yeah, apart from that, so Persians have this thing called a Persian douche.
Okay.
Which is a strategy that can be extremely effective. I think he's going to lose a villager to the boar. Let's see if he. Oh, you can see that, right? He did
Oh
the
yeah,
house
the,
thing.
the
Yeah.
trick you told me
Yes,
yesterday.
yes, yes. So now the boar completely forgets that villager and he runs behind the other lady that shot an arrow at it. Yeah, it was Maserati, but then I had a chat with him and he told me that you pronounce it like Maserati and the double C is CH. So I can pronounce his name now. Okay, so Butcherati will still lose a villager to the scout.
And these
However,
two villagers, three villagers are still.
yeah, these two villagers have been idle for as long as I can remember, and there's basically a lot of. I think it's basically just panic from Butcherati at this point. However, as I was saying, there is this strategy called a Persian douche. It can be executed by a couple of other civs, but what the douche entails, which you will see now, what Butcherati is doing is he's sending 10 villagers forward. I was expecting this. And what he's going to do is the moment his villagers reach his opponent's base, he's going to delete his own town center.
Oh.
And he's going to build one right next to his opponent's TC. So there is a reason why this works. The reason is that the Persian town center has double HP. So whereas a normal town center gets 2400 HP, a Persian town center will have 4800 HP. Which means that if you build a town center next to your opponent's TC and he's not playing as the Persians, your town center will take down his town center. And you can see he's already doing that. He's placing a town center right next to the berries, the gold, and football archers with his 3 villagers here will not be able to deny that TC. So that TC is coming up.
Damn.
Yeah, so if you just see Butcherati's base, he does not have a TC over there. He will have a small wood eco, which will basically sort of keep him alive until the time that he can basically produce some military. However, what will happen at this point is Butcherati, no, I think this is the wrong move. Butcher, I think, yeah, so he just remembered now. He is basically garrisoning his villagers inside his TC. So now Red's TC is going down in a few moments. And at that point, what happens is Red, okay, he is almost on the way to feudal age and he will actually get to the feudal age, which is extremely nice for him. So what he should be doing, okay, is not try and repair the TC or anything. He gets to feudal age, just make an archery range. Even if the TC goes down, it doesn't matter now. He can keep producing villagers until the TC is still active. The moment the TC goes down, he has to relocate his villagers, make like 5 or 6 archers. And at that point, Butcherati will have no economy. Like if you look at the score, Butcherati is basically at half score to football archers.
Right.
And Football Ultra is actually playing correctly. What he's doing is he's building an archery range at the back, and he has sent two militia forward. So these will try and deny the food or the wood eco that he has at his own base. Ducharati, I mean, he's got some villagers on berries and he's got some on the wood. So the right move now, even though Bucharati has managed to take down Football Ultra's TC, the thing is, Football Ultraist is way further ahead. Like, he'll basically be able to drop a TC within a few moments. He's currently short on wood, slightly. So, yeah, once he gets to this thing, once he gets his 275 wood. Now, you see what Bucharati is doing is he wants to build another TC.
Right.
But instead, what we'll be treated to is a villager fight. Because unfortunately, Pucharati does not have the 100 stone required to build another town center. So if he deletes his TC right now, he will not be able to make a new TC until he gathers 5 stone. He has the wood, he just does not have the stone. So what we are looking at here is a villager fight, and Red, I think he's basically panicking at this point, but what he should do is just get some archers out. Does he have any? Okay, so Red has one archer at least and two militia, yeah. So Red needs to get a few more archers out. Disregard these villagers from blue. Just get like 5 or 6 military out and it would be the GG for Bucharati. However, funnier things have happened, so I mean, let's just see what happens late game. Or not late game, but let's see if anybody actually manages to get to Castle Age. Bucharati at this point, he is so far ahead from, so far away from Feudal Age. He's got just 42 food. He's collecting some food from those berries, but I mean, he's not getting to Feudal Age within the next 3 or 4 minutes.
And his villagers are also getting butchered by.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
So even right now, these two archers will actually go down to those villagers because those villagers have loom. But the moment Football Ultra gets hopefully a blacksmith up, because he does not have wood. The moment he gets some wood, maybe build a blacksmith or get a few archers out, it's GG for Bucharati. Like, this is such an all-in strategy, that if it doesn't work, let's say within the first 20 minutes, like if you cannot defeat your opponent within the first 20 minutes, it's GG. And okay, so Football Ultra is still stealing some of Bucharati's sheep. I can see one moving back. What about the rest? Okay, so Football Ultra has some eco at home, but most of it is forward and inactive at this point. Although I must say he is constantly producing villagers. So Bucharati actually has 32 villagers to Football Ultra is 19. So yeah, I mean, Football Ultra I think has just panicked here, and which means that he's not able to get constant villager production. I mean, at this point he does not have a TC, so of course that's...
Yes, he cannot produce it, so...
Exactly, but even if he made like just 6 archers, man, just 6 archers, and it would be over. I don't think he should have...
Just trading his villagers for...
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is, Bucharati, even though he's in Dark Age, he's got a TC, right? So he can keep producing villagers, whereas Football Ultraist has to make do with the 17 villagers that he has right now. So until he can get a TC up, he should not waste his villagers by engaging into will fights. And we even have Bucharati getting housed here. So, what about at the front? Okay, so his push at Bucharati's base has failed, and I think Football Ultra right now should just focus on getting some wood, build a TC, slightly safe where... Okay, so he... No. This is the worst place to build a TC because there is an outpost right next to the TC that he's building.
Alright.
So Bucharati will just delete his original TC and he'll send some villagers forward to build a new one over there. Or as we can see here, I don't think his TC will even go up.
Yeah, I think it's GG.
Uh, I mean, I don't think it's GG yet, but if Football Archivist cannot get this TC up, then it's looking very bad for him. Like, he's at 15 villagers now. Short of, maybe him getting tilted and just putting like 4 or 5 villagers into some corner of the map, this is not looking very good for Football Archivist right now. His TC construction has stopped, so yeah. And we're looking at 13 villagers for Football Archivist. I think Red could have won this game quite easily. It's just that he panicked and he took his villagers off board initially, which meant that he could not rebuild a TC, he could not make any new archers, and right now, even though he has 220 gold, he has hardly any food, he has no wood at this point, and okay, what is Butcherati doing? So he hasn't deleted his TC yet. I wonder why he's not, even like going up to feudal age. Because he has enough villagers to basically get the food income as soon as possible. Get some, get to feudal age, get some scouts or whatever out, and this would be the GG. Yeah, Varun, I'm wondering the same thing. I think it was just panic from Football Archers. Like he never managed to get a second TC up, and he's at 10 villagers now. So yeah, I think this is looking like the GG.
Yeah, it's looking very bad.
Yeah. I mean, he has 10 villagers. Unfortunately, the TC won't go up. Even if it goes up, it's a massive difference in the villager counts right now. It's basically 8 villagers to 40 villagers. So yeah, and these archers will probably just run into TC fire. Yeah, there you go. So these archers are dead also. And
got it.
Yeah. So I think we are just counting down to 0 villagers, because I assume that is what we'll end up seeing here. Football is at 6 vills, 2 military. So anyway, Blake, I believe you would not have seen
this kind of game.
This strategy, yeah. So this is actually pretty common. The moment you see a Persian's player on an open map, there is a very big chance that you will end up getting douched. So scouting is extremely important. Like for example, if you just look at red scouting, like let me just see that. So Red actually did find his opponent's base. I don't know if it was before or after he got douched. The problem is, even though he knew the douche was coming, he basically reacted too late, I would say, and he just panicked. So yeah, I think what we can do now is just fast forward, because there's no way Football is coming back from 3 villagers to 43.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll just fast forward. And yeah, there's the GG.
Damn.
So, like you can see how bad Pucciarati's eco was. Pucciarati had his original lumber camp was pushed away, so he had to build a lumber camp on the side, which is completely open. His food eco was awful. He had just some villagers on berries, and later on he had to drop a bunch of farms. But yeah, I mean, who would call a GG after this, man? BK. So yeah, let's just take a look at the stats. And yeah, so military wise, neither of the players actually even getting to double digits. The thing is, you can still see the KD. So Pucciarati, with his massive villager count and the fact that he had a working TC all the time. Why was Red playing like Cyanide? Hey Doomster, what's up, man? How are you? Looking at the eco again, Picharati doing very much better on account of the higher number of villagers that he had. And
Yep.
society-wise, yeah, it's almost double the villager count. Technology tab is irrelevant because only one player actually managed to get to feudal age. So
So
yeah,
one player did one research and second did
yeah,
two
that's it.
research.
Now we can go on to the next game. Let me just take a look at the bracket. So that's Reminishu versus Varun 511
Okay.
versus. And let me just try and find it. Yeah. So I'll pause it at 1 second.
Yeah, I'm at 2. We can just go. It's okay.
Yeah. So we'll go in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Okay. So we have Reminishu playing as the Vietnamese and Barun is playing as the Berbers. Okay.
Bubble. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is actually a pretty interesting matchup. Like, unlike some of the other games, now we are seeing some civs which are not so common, right? I mean, Berbers and Vietnamese are usually not the first picks on Arabia. I mean, even though they are pretty good civs, I'll just go over them momentarily. But I mean, they are good civs. It's just that usually in 1v1s they are not picked. So let's just take a look at Barun's map here. Barun has wow, I like his base here because he's got a safe gold. He's got extremely safe berries and a stone pile. His wood line on the side where his main gold is now that can actually be walled pretty effectively. So you can make a wall from here to the edge of the map and
Right.
wall this up, and maybe in the front he can use the stone pile as a wall to this side of the map, I mean to the side where his wood line is. The other side is unfortunately slightly open, but what he can do is just wall to the TC, I guess. And that would basically mean that he would have that's one safe gold pile, that's two safe gold piles, safe berries and a safe stone. So that's a pretty nice map for Burrows. On the other side, Reminishu unfortunately has an extremely open map. So he's got some woodline in the front, and apart from that, like I mean, he can wall this up maybe to the edge of the map, but the walls are so far that if Barun sends some military, those walls are coming down and it would be GG. And I mean, the other side is completely open, so there's nothing even worth talking about here. Like he's got a slightly safe gold in the back, but again, I mean, the walls that he'll have to make are massive, so that could pose a problem for him. However, we have seen Reminishu yesterday placing some 500 IQ walls. So,
Yeah.
and we see here Reminishu. Oh, he just manages to save that villager from the bear. So he's luring a bear rather than a boar, I think. Was that it? Oh, I don't know what he was doing here. Why the hell did he have a boar running after him in Dark Age? And again, these 500 IQ lumber camps from Reminishu. So this should be a fun game to watch. It. Yeah, I'm sorry, I just moved my mic. So anyway, we might not have the cleanest game here from Reminishu, but we'll have a lot of fun watching it. Anyway, so looking at Barun's civilization here, I mean he's playing as the Berbers, so they're an extremely nice cavalry civ again, and I believe their bonus is cheaper cavalry.
Okay.
Let me just check. Stable units, yeah. So they cost 15% less. By the way, I've stopped at 5 minutes and 37 seconds. What time are you at?
I'm at 6:02.
Okay, so I'll just fast forward a little bit because I was looking at the tech tree.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm at 6:03 now, and we can start. So 3, 2, 1, let's go. Yeah.
Okay.
So as I was saying, Barun basically gets cheaper cavalry once he gets to Castle Age and Imperial Age. Reminishu says he's got a 1 minute idle something or other. Okay, so their APM is so good that they can actually have a chat while they are playing. Your boar is here. Okay, so Varun, being the good friend that he is pointing out pointing out to Reminishu where his boar is, because apparently he tried to lure a bear rather than a boar. Oh man. And he's got villagers on gold in the Dark Age so early. This is 7 minutes in. Reminiscence needs to try and learn some build orders, but apart from that, this should be fun to watch. Yeah, so as I was saying about the Berbers, yeah, exactly, Doomster. Boar, bear, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, right? So they get these cheaper cavalry units, so cheaper knights basically, which is a very good thing. Like if you're getting to Castle Age early, you can start pumping 2 stable knights and usually would be able to overrun most of your opposition. However, on the other side, Reminishu is playing as the Vietnamese. So Vietnamese get some pretty good archers actually. Like their archers have more health compared to a normal archer, which means that if you have a like say 10 archers versus 10 archer fight between you and some other Civ, your archers will end up surviving, I would say.
Okay.
And however, Reminishu with his plays, I don't expect him to use his Civ's bonus. I'm sorry if I'm being slightly rude over here, but some of what I'm seeing here is not making sense, and we are still less than 10 minutes in. So why is he sending 3 villagers to build a house forward? He's not housed. I think his issue is that he has way too many villagers and he's sending 3 forward as usual. And he has forgotten to mill his berries, Reminishu. He's got a very interesting lumber camp here. He's got 3 on gold. He has nobody on berries. His opponent had to point out where his boar was. So yeah, what the hell is going on? And Reminishu, as usual, has sent 3 villagers somewhere to the side of the map. I think he's trying to search for more bears. And unfortunately, okay, so he might end up running into a wolf over here. But watch the scout, right? Okay, let's go. The red scout. Ah, so Varun has managed to wall in Reminishu scout.
Wow.
If you see next to the stable over there, there's this fancy construction that Varun has done to wall in that scout. But Varun, do you think Reminishu even cares about his scout? Like, he has found your base. He has found a very nice wood line, which I don't think you would expect him to take. And like, I don't think he cares about anything else. So, yeah. Meanwhile, if we are just talking about the game, so Varun is already in feudal age. He's about to start sending his scouts to Reminishu's base, and Reminishu is not yet in feudal age. So I mean, he's just about to get there. Varun manages to save his, I think that's his starting scout, so that one stays alive, and he has finally noticed that he has a load of berries over here which he can use to get some food income. So that's good. Unfortunately, I can't see any villagers under his TC. So okay, he's got 7 on berries right now. Where are these 4 villagers going? I think more than anything else, Reminishu does not know what to do with his villagers. Like, he's at 23 villagers, but I mean, quite a few of those villagers are basically just roaming around aimlessly. And we see the first stone gate coming in. Right. So palisade walls and stone gates should be interesting. Meanwhile, Barun, I think, yeah. So Barun has already sent 4 scouts forward. And Reminishu with those walls, I don't think he's going to be able to finish the wall anyway. Yeah, Nitro. These three wills are busy chopping lumber right next to Barun's base. I don't think Barun suspects that. And we managed to kill the wolf as well. Ah, and we have a secret archery range here. Reminisce is building a secret archery range right outside Barun's base. Meanwhile, Barun has already sent his 4 scouts inside Reminisce's base, and those spears will actually be pretty effective in pushing those scouts away. But okay, so here's the thing. One mistake that Reminisce is doing is these spears are basically chasing the scouts. They should not be doing that. He should be sending a villager forward, finish the wall that he started, and at the same time keep those spears right next to the villager, so the villager stays safe, and the spears will push away any scouts that are coming to stop the walls from coming up. Because as you can see right now, the spears and like in the worst place possible, like they're standing next to the wall, and they are dying to these scouts.
Yep.
And villager wise, now he's having to put that's 5 villagers to finish the wall, out of which one is extremely weak, so yeah. Barun with a misplay here, losing
All those.
I think I think he lost 3 scouts to the TC. And on this side the walls have come up, so Reminisce does manage to wall this up. What about on the other side? I guess yeah, he should be able to finish those walls. The problem is that this wall is completely wrong. I mean, he should have walled it to the other wood line and then maybe to the edge of the map. But I mean, in all this commotion, he seems to have forgotten to queue up villagers. And Reminisce says it's basically GG already. I think he's trying to fool Barun into relaxing over here, because he's got 2 archery ranges and a stable on the side of Barun's base. So yeah. And now Reminisce says he doesn't know why he went Vietnamese. Come on, man, it's very nice. Oh, and Barun does actually find the secret base of Reminisce's.
Yep, with that one scout.
Yeah, so that single scout has found this small base that Reminisce has made over here. And even though the scout does go down, this now means that Barun will be aware that he can expect to see some military coming from the side. Although he's getting to castle age now, he's already at 62%, Barun. So, wise skirmishers, Reminisce. Your opponent, as the Berbers, he is not making... Okay, he has made some archers, but why would you build 2 ranges to counter this? Okay, so he's making archers from one range and he's making skirmishers from the other range, which again I don't think is required. You need maybe like 2 skirms to push this away, and I mean if you want to attack, that is always viable. Yes, Nitro, skirms kill knights. 50 skirms would be able to kill 1 knight, I'm sure. And yeah, as expected, so Barun is going for, how many stables is that? He's about to go into 3 stable production, which I don't think his eco can support, but he's building 3 stables and a blacksmith. So it should be interesting to see how much military he can make. Yes, Doom, so fast impetus comes. No, that's only reserved for high elo games, where the players, I mean, 1700 elo players can execute those strategies. Ah, so that's QB. Hey man, what's up? I didn't expect to see you here. Anyway, hi. Yes, gravity man. Of course I know. Right, so Reminisce has some archers and some skirmishers, but he chooses to keep them inside the range rather than send them forward. Although it doesn't make sense now because Barun already has knights out. How many knights is that? He has 4 knights out. Let's look at the upgrades. No upgrades yet for Barun. And currently I don't think anything is queued up yet. Yeah, so these knights are effectively unupgraded, but they do have bloodlines. So I mean they are still pretty good against feudal age military.
Right.
And the 10 villager difference, as you can see here, it's 28 to 38.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, if he pushes into it, blue as then
I mean, Remen issue is, I believe he's 700 ego right now. I've seen him play when he was 500 or 550 ego. Varun, I think, is around 1000 ego.
okay.
So this was always expected to be a one-sided matchup, but I'm curious to see if Revenishu actually manages to get to Castle Age here. He should be able to. He's got the food production now, and he's got the gold anyway. I mean, what he can do is he can basically just build a market. Although he doesn't have the wood now, he can build a market, buy some food, get to Castle Age.
But look at the blue side. Like he has how many? 11 knights already.
Blue has a massive military now.
Yeah.
So Barun has some feudal age archers. He's got some these are elite skirms, yeah. That's unupgraded elite skirms, and he's got I think 12 knights. Is it? Yeah.
Yep,
And-
12 knights.
Yeah. What about the upgrades? So no upgrades yet for Barun, which I mean, see the knights will survive. It's not that. It's just that getting even one armor upgrade would basically be extremely effective in finishing off these buildings and whatever army that Remnish was building here. Yeah, so Barun, you should be going forward with that army. Try and finish this off as soon as possible. So Reminishu says good in the chat. So I mean, we were aware that they were friends, so we can expect to see some banter here. But Barun has already expanded out towards Reminishu's side of the map, and he's got some military that's heading forward. Man, these bears have been very active in this game.
Look well, man.
And will we see Reminishu with his customary walls here? Actually, yeah, these spears will go down to these storms if they chose to fight, which they are not choosing to. Where are these guys going?
Yeah, this game is over, I guess.
Yeah, the game is definitely over. Yeah, so the KD is very bad right now. It's 22 to 4. Those spear. Oh man. These.
The spearmen and archers are
Yeah,
chill.
they want to engage with. I think that there's one specific knight that he has right clicked on, and these spearmen are trying to get to that knight to kill it. But yeah, that's not gonna happen. And where is Barun's siege workshop? Because I believe he has a siege workshop here. Yeah, so he's got a siege workshop on the side. He's got a mangonel out. And Reminishu, meanwhile, is 90% up to Castle Age. Yeah, but unfortunately, he's still building spears. So yeah, Reminishu gets to Castle Age. Now these walls that Reminishu has made, they are okay. So that's the GG here. Slightly anticlimactic, but I mean, I expected the result anyway. So GG from Barun. I hope you get a tougher challenge in the semi-finals. And let's look at the stats. So yeah, Barun had a massive military. He had quite a few knights in the end, and the feudal age military that he had made. The archers and the skirmishers, they were actually enough to just kill the few spears that he had made. And eco-wise, yeah, again, a massive difference between their levels, so we should have expected this anyway. Technology-wise, I mean, it did actually get to Castle Age. I guess we missed that, but yeah. Apart from that, quick game. The remaining two games here. The next one, which is between Mekashin and Lakshman, should be interesting. So let me just
Mekashin and
Mekashin and Lakshman.
okay.
So I'll just update the overlay here.
Yeah, I'm at 001.
Okay. Let me just load the replay. So we finally see somebody picking the Vikings. Should be fun to watch. And yeah, I guess we can go now. I am at 1 second.
Yeah, same.
So
1 second.
let's go in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so Lakshman playing as the Vikings here in the blue on the left side of the map, and on the other side we have Nekachin playing as the Malians here. So this is again a pretty interesting matchup. I'll talk about the civs in a moment. First, let's just take a look at the map. So Lakshman has some safe berries. He's got his main gold is exposed. I mean, there's no other way to put this. His main gold is pretty bad, but I mean, you can still sort of collect it if you try and wall it up slightly like away from the gold pile and maybe take the palisade walls towards the wood line or whatever. However, it's still inconvenient. But then he has another gold pile. Okay, I actually don't like any of his gold piles here. It's pretty awful. His berries are safe enough, so they won't be attacked. But apart from that, yeah. So Lakshman's map is completely open. He's got a safe stone, but I mean, why you shouldn't be expecting to collect stone this early anyway. So yeah, and looking at Mekashin's map, wow, this is a pretty nice map for Mekashin here.
Yep.
So his main gold is quite safe actually. If he just walls from one wood line to the other wood line, that main gold is not getting harassed. And these wood lines can be connected to make a wall here. This can be walled to the edge of the map. What about on the other side? So other side as well, yeah, he can use the secondary gold pile to wall up. And he's got a pretty nice base. He's got a safe stone at the back. The berries won't get harassed. So yeah. And okay, so now let's talk about the civs. So the Vikings, if we can talk about them first, is primarily an infantry civ, and again they have very good navy, but this is not a water map, so that's irrelevant. Their infantry basically gets more health once they get to feudal age and forward, so that's feudal age, castle age, and imperial age. Their infantry has more HP. Apart from that, they have an extremely kick-ass unique unit in the form of the Berserk. They get fully upgraded archers. So, like a Vikings player is usually expected to go for a drush into archers or maybe a man-at-arms into archers, and owing to the extremely awesome eco bonus that Vikings have, where they get free wheelbarrow and free handcart. So what happens is it's very easy for them to collect the resources required to get to the next stage. So the Viking play usually goes from man-at-arms into archers into basically get to a fast imp, and after that you can either start pumping berserks, or you can do a combination of berserks and champions and your archers or whatever. And on the other side we have Mekashin playing as the Malians. So Malians also get fully upgraded archers. Like they get obelisks. What they don't get is bracer. So the final attack and range upgrade is something that the Malians don't get. However, their infantry again gets 1 pierce armor per age. So like the military from Malians, if he's making infantry, those infantry units can actually take a lot of arrow fire.
Right.
And apart from that, they have good cavalry. I don't believe they get gunpowder, but we haven't actually seen gunpowder on any of the games yet. So yeah. So yeah, Sai. I mean, the archers get upgraded. It's just that they don't get all the blacksmith upgrades. Like they don't get bracer, but if you're just talking about the unit itself, they do get obelisks. So I guess there's different definitions on what you consider to be a fully upgraded unit or whatever. But yeah, I mean they get obelisks. It's just a lack of bracer. However, these obelisks are still quite effective once you get chemistry. It's just the one range that you actually end up missing once you get to Imperial Age. So,
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, with these players again, we should be able to see some standard meta build orders and stuff where Mekashin and Lakshman are both currently at approximately 20 villagers. I think Mekashin will end up losing the scout. Yeah, there we go. So Mekashin in basically one moment of inattentiveness manages to lose his scout, and let's see how much scouting he has done. Uh, okay, yeah, my bad. I need to select his point of view. So, Mekashin has actually seen one of Lakshman's golds. He has seen the TC, but apart from that, he knows nothing else about Lakshman's base. Whereas Lakshman, I believe, has scouted slightly more of Mekashin's base, and Lakshman already has 3 militia out. So, what are we expecting to see here? This is 20. Okay, so this is basically going to be a rush into a fast castle, is what Lakshman is doing. And yeah, I don't think Mekashin is going to be able to complete the walls here. So, these 3 militias, the rush that is coming in, should be quite effective. Let's see how much damage he manages to do. Like at this level, even a single villager dead or 2 villagers dead can have a massive difference in the game's outcome.
Okay.
So, like as I said, these militia, they are Viking militia. So the moment he gets to feudal age, those militia will have more HP compared to Mekashin's militia. And Mekashin, I believe, will go for a man at arms into Archer's play. Let's see what he actually decides to do. So yeah, at this point, I guess Lakshman should just pull away his militia. Even though he is managing to win the fights, it would be smart of him to just pull away this militia and attack the villagers rather than engaging with the military.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. 2K micro man. Lakshman has been extremely active in controlling his militia here. Not a single militia lost to any sort of arrow fire or whatever. And he has got, that's 4 villager kills that Lakshman has managed to do here. So Lakshman is at 24 villagers, Mekashin is at 23 right now because he lost 4 villagers. Wow. Oh, sorry, not 4 villagers. He actually lost 2 militia, I think it was.
Yeah, it was militia.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, exactly. But even then, it's a lot of damage that Lakshman has been able to do here. Yes, Gravity. Please go ahead and ask me. And Gravity or Teja in the chat is 1600 ELO player, so he's way better than me, and he's going to try and embarrass me on the live stream here. Let's see. And Mekashin now, he has basically quick-called in his gold villagers, his wood villagers, because he could not manage to wall up completely. Gravity, I think Lakshman is 1200 exactly, or I think it was just 12, slightly above 1200, I am not sure. Whereas Nitro is close to 1350 or 1400, and Doomster is I think 3000 ELO by now. So yeah. And yeah, so meanwhile we can see here, okay, interestingly, I was actually expecting Lakshman to go for a fast castle, but instead what he's doing here is he's going for the double range and blacksmith and I mean the standard archer build order. I think he has made a mistake here. He has put way too many on gold. 11 and 8 is enough. You don't need the 9. Actually 7 should be enough if you're not constantly producing archers. The thing here is Lakshman has actually so he finally does lose most of his militia or man-at-arms now, but they've done quite a bit of work.
Yep, I think they have done their job.
Yeah, definitely. And it's not just the villager kills, but even the harassment, the fact that Mekashin was not able to wall up. So the moment these archers come in, he's got fletching already. So even like 6 archers will now basically mean that it will be extremely difficult for Mekashin to get any gold or wood. Man, Lakshman is constantly controlling that single mana turns that he has available. And yeah, so we see the archers moving forward. He's got 5 archers out, 6 archers now.
Yep.
And yeah, so that effectively means that Mekashin will not have any gold income over here in the front. And let's see. I mean, he still has access to another safe gold over there. Let's see if he decides to tower up to, try and get one safe wood line and gold pile. Because otherwise, these 5 or 6 archers can be extremely effective in killing quite a lot of villagers. So yeah, Mekashin is, I think he's just slightly panicked at this point. He's lost quite a few villagers. He's not building a tower here, which I think he should have done. But what he's doing instead is he's getting to Castle Age now. He's almost 20% up to Castle Age. He's going to lose quite a lot of villagers here. So yeah, this should be interesting to see now.
Yeah.
And
Like he has taken control of all his.
yeah, so at this point, Mekashin has no access to gold. He has no access to wood on the front or this side. I mean, he's having to use this wood line here. But again, he's not walled, so like even 6 archers would be enough to push this away. However, he is getting to Castle Age, so he should be able to start pumping some knights from that stable and push out those archers. Let's see how well he's able to actually do that.
Yep. Even these archers have done a lot of damage.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you just look at the KD here, that's 13 to 4. And Mekashin was actually one of the strongest players yesterday. So, pretty interesting to see here. I mean, I know Lakshman is probably the same elo as Mekashin. Like, if you check their elos, I believe they were extremely similar in the elo numbers. But Mekashin is actually getting quite badly dominated over here. Although he is into Castle Age now, so the first knight should be coming out quite soon. And yeah, I think Mekashin at this point, he will have to spread out.
And that is out. It's basically inside the.
Yeah. I mean, see, Mekashin has a very small window here where he can save himself by moving some villagers away from his base, because his base at this point it's in a pretty bad condition. Like these unupgraded knights, he should not be sending them towards those archers. Like, fair enough, you might weaken the archers slightly, but like we can see here, he's basically lost both of his knights to,
Yep.
what was that? I think that's like 7 or 8 feudal age archers. And yeah, I think it's very close to a GG here actually, because Mekashin is at 20 villagers compared to Lakshman's 40 almost. And yeah, so there we go. Mekashin actually does call it the GG. Quick game actually.
Yeah.
Let's just look at the map. So Lakshman was never harassed at his own base, and I think Mekashin losing his scout, although it did not affect the outcome of the match a lot. I believe if he had scouted the drush as it was coming in, he could have, if he was walled up, it could have been different. It's just I mean, just the fact that that initial drush with 3 militias was so effective here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and let's just take a look at the stats. So yeah, that's an insane KD for Lakshman here. It's basically a 1:8 KD, or rather than 8:1 KD. And yeah, sorry, 5:1. I was looking at the largest army counts, but there we go. Eco wise, it's basically, Mechachine had slightly lower numbers on all the resources, and yeah. So Lakshman, even though he got to Castle Age, uh, I'm sorry, did he actually get to? Yeah, so Lakshman didn't get to Castle Age, but he didn't need to. And society-wise, yeah. So it was basically 30 villagers to 39. Mechachine, I can sort of understand the fact that when he went to Castle Age, that's 160 seconds of idle time on your TC. So that would cause a few less villagers, but he lost quite a few as well. So yeah. Anyways, GG's here, and let me just update the names for the last game. That is between Bomberman and Overseeker.
Thanks and calls.
Okay, so we have Incas over here. Gravity, I'm not the admin of the tournament. I'm just doing the casting. So if you have, or if anybody else has any issues with the ratings or whatever, I guess you should just forward them those concerns to the admins rather than me. Anyway, yeah. So I have paused at 1 second. What about you?
Yeah. If you Cyanide, yeah. If you can check your Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah. Let me just go ahead and do that. Okay, so yeah, I'll just update that. Give me a second, guys. And that has been done, so we should have the edited description in case you guys can just refresh the stream.
okay.
And yeah, I think apart from that, I guess we are ready to go.
Yep.
Yeah, so the overlay is all fine. I have not had any boo-boos in switching the overlays or whatever this time, so I think chat can just try and acknowledge that, because I usually make some mistake in switching the overlays or whatever. So yeah. Anyways, I guess you can just go live here. This is
Yep.
the final quarterfinal match actually. So we can go live in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Yep.
And right, flying dumbbells. We can talk about that on AOE India, man. So we have Bomberman playing as the Franks. Franks is actually one of the most commonly picked civs in this tournament. I think it's the most commonly picked civ by far, actually. We've had, I think, 6 or 7 players who've picked Franks. So, yeah. And on the other side, we have Overseeker in the red playing as the Incas. So, if he does what Incas are known for, this should be another fun game to watch. Let's just go over the map. So, Bomberman has a... I mean, it can be walled, but I don't like Bomberman's map very much. Like, his walls will have to be very far from his town center. The forward, I think he can just wall up the woodside to the stone, maybe from the stone to the gold or directly to the wood. But his back is completely exposed on one side. So he'll have to be extremely aggressive to make sure that, you know, his difficulty in walling is... I mean, he can basically just make sure that, you know, the action stays in front of him rather than behind him. And on the other side, actually, even if I just look at the mini-map here, Overseeker's map is also pretty awful. Like, his secondary gold is... I mean, it's basically in another town. His stone pile is also extremely far from his TC. And what about his main gold? So his main gold is fine, it's safe, he can wall this up to the edge of the map, this wood line. But then, where else does he connect those walls? Like, he's got basically 2 or 3 sides that are completely open. So although both of them have pretty awful maps, I would say that Overseeker's map is much worse. compared to Bomberman's. Same number of villagers, which is expected since these guys are again around 1100 Eros. So I am actually not aware of what Overseeker's Elo is. I hope if somebody in the chat can just check and post it here. Otherwise, I mean, it still doesn't matter as such. I mean, both of these guys are at the same number of villagers. Although I don't like this board though by Bomberman, but it doesn't make that big a difference at this level. And yeah, so I mean, let's just talk about the sales. Franks we talked about quite a bit yesterday. So if you're talking about the Incas, they are, I mean, they get fully upgraded archers again. So they are a good archer save if you want to do that. Their unique unit, the Kameyuk, is actually extremely good against knights or any sort of cavalry. So if Bomberman does go for knights or cavaliers or paladins or whatever, those Kameyuks will completely destroy the knights. And there is this this strategy with the Incas where you send like 3 or 4 villagers to do a tower rush. Okay, so it's basically an Inca tower rush. It's known as the Noburu rush because it was made popular or rather discovered by this player called Noburu, a Japanese player. So one of the bonuses of the Inca civilization is that even the villagers get the upgrades from the blacksmith. So once you get a blacksmith up, any upgrades that you do to your infantry, whether it is attack upgrades or armor upgrades, even your villagers get those.
Interesting.
Yeah, so this means that the villagers that you send forward, 3, 4, whatever number of villagers you decide to send forward, they are effectively as good as man-at-arms. Once you get your blacksmith up and you can, you know, just get the attack and the armor upgrade. And it can be an extremely powerful strategy if executed correctly. Although I do believe Bomberman should have played. I mean, he plays ranked matches, so I guess he should be aware that Overseeker can always do this. It should be interesting to see what Overseeker actually decides to do here. Okay, so Bomberman is going for a 19 pop. I assume Scouts build it is going to be because he's playing as the Franks. Second wood line already up. Sorry, a second lumber camp. He's about to have enough food to pump maybe 6 or 7 scouts here. And meanwhile, Overseeker on the other side has just queued up Feudal Age. And interestingly, he's building some militia. So I guess we should see some man-at-arms here. Unfortunately, I'm not able to find his barracks. Yeah, there we go. Wow, that is a massive wall that he's trying to do. But okay, so I don't think Overseeker has found his opponent. Yeah, there we go. So he finally just finds Bomberman's base, which means these militia can head in that direction.
Yeah, why Bomberman walled in his own villager here near his gold tile?
Okay, yeah. So that is, I mean, you do that if you see your opponent sending an Eagle Scout or whatever.
Okay.
You just wall in your villagers so that the Eagle Scout cannot harass your villagers while he's building the barracks or the stable or whatever. Because otherwise what happens is that single Eagle Scout can deny the barracks, right?
Right.
So you just wall in your villager to make sure that the Eagle Scout cannot get to the villager. And here we see the stable already coming up, and okay, so Overseeker does and I mean you see this, right? Okay, so he does manage to finish the stable, but if those militia had come in maybe 15 seconds or 20 seconds earlier, Bomberman would not have been able to complete the stable here. And yeah, so Bomberman here doing the right thing. He okay, now that those are man-at-arms instead of militia, he should just run away rather than engaging with this because he'll end up losing quite a few villagers otherwise. And yeah, so he's got, how many scouts does he have queued up? So he's got 1 already inside the stable and he's got 3 more that are queued up. He can't make any more right now because he's short on food. He's having to place a bunch of farms, but I mean, yeah, apart from that, these man-at-arms have been quite effective. And meanwhile, on the other side, Overseeker is trying to wall in his base, and you see this. So, Bomberman's single scout has been able to deny the two archery ranges that Overseeker is trying to place. So that is effectively about 30 to 40 seconds of time that is being wasted in building those ranges. In fact, he's not able to build those ranges at all. Wow, so this could be very bad. What I would do at this point is, okay, so maybe leave one scout on that archery range, but send the other two scouts, try and scout the rest of his base, maybe stop some villagers from collecting the wood or gold or whatever. Yeah, so these scouts are now finally moving forward. But, I mean, you can just see this, right? Overseeker wanted to basically go for a man-at-arms into an archer's belt. The problem here is he has not managed to get his archery range up. So, there is no military production from Overseeker at this point. And even though Bomberman loses his scout here, he could not have hoped for much better than what he's actually getting here. Like, he's getting a bunch of idle time from those villagers. He actually manages to kill one villager as well, and yeah, no ranges, no army, nothing at this point. Meanwhile, Bomberman is housed right now. He's making some more scouts. Okay, and he's not walling up, or he hasn't walled up yet. He has not started his walls. Is he planning to play completely open?
It looks like it.
Okay.
So yeah, Overseeker's archery ranges have been delayed quite a lot, and unfortunately he still only has one archery range built. I think it was Bomberman scouts that managed to destroy the foundations for the second archery range, because he's very short on wood. He just manages to get the wood required to build a second range. But yeah, he's about to have 3 more scouts enter his wood line here. So this is some very good play here by Bomberman. He has managed to get a bunch of idle time from Overseeker. He's managed to kill quite a few villagers. And apart from that, Overseeker... Okay, so he finally does have the archery range up. But, I mean, these archers are so late. At 17 minutes you need to have at least like 10 archers with fletching and heading to your enemy's base.
Right.
Yeah. And that's a KD of 9 kills to 9 deaths, but I mean, if you just look past the numbers, it is actually extremely bad for Overseeker here. And what is he doing with his walls? I mean, the walls are extremely late, and the military is too little too late. Like, these two archers, is he queuing up more? He's got 3 queued in from one range, 2 now, an idle DC. And meanwhile, Bomberman is sending 2 villagers forward, so I wonder what that could be. Small mistake by Bomberman here. One of the villagers he's sending is slightly weak compared to a standard villager. So
any particular reason why he is sending?
I have no idea. Because as a Franks player, you normally don't expect any sort of a forward play from the Franks player. What they usually do is just go into scouts, get to castle age, start pumping knights. I think he's about to build a tower here, because a single tower can be extremely effective, because he's and there we go, he's building the tower.
Okay.
I guess the tower will be denied. What's funny is that the Incas player is getting tower rushed, which is pretty funny.
Ironic, I guess.
Yeah. And but how far is Bomberman from Castle Age? Okay, so he just needs some gold. He's got this unfortunate villager placement here, but apart from that, okay, so he has preemptively gone for... Oh, what is this? Oh, I think Bomberman made a mistake here. He double-clicked all his villagers. So, oh man, that is a big mistake from Bomberman. I think the nerves basically got to him or something. But he's basically got a bunch of villagers that will be. I mean, they will get to their particular resource in time. It's just that he got a bunch of idle time here. Meanwhile, Overseeker is going for these walls of China.
Skirmishers has been. Yeah, Bomberman is creating skirmishers.
Yeah. So as you can see here, or rather you will see here, Overseeker has fletching on his archers, and Bomberman has also the same upgrade. It's just fletching, no armor upgrade. But you see this, right? It's 8 skirmishers against 7 archers. He has more. So that's 7 plus 4, that's 11 archers, but there is no way he should be sending those archers forward right now.
Right.
Like these 12 or 13 archers will get murdered by these 8 skirmishers, and not only that, both of them are on the way to Castle Age now. Bomberman is slightly ahead, and like, see, if you are just talking about the plays here, Bomberman has played extremely well. He has played to his skill, if I can say that, like to his strength, and he's got a much better eco compared to Overseeker. He's got a slightly better KD, but he's got more villagers. He's got the military composition that is enough to push his enemy away. Now, here's the thing: he's getting to Castle Age. He can start making knights from 2 stables. It should be interesting to see what Overseeker decides to do. Like, he's already building a bunch of barracks in expectation of knights. So we have Overseeker with, that's 3 barracks here. I assume he's about to start pumping eagles. Okay, why eagles?
Yeah. Why Eagles?
So Eagles is the completely wrong play here. Like, okay, fair enough. If he wants to take care of those skirms, he can make a few Eagles. But the number of Eagles that he's making here makes no sense. Like 4 Eagles should be able to take these skirmishers easily. And Bomberman gets to Castle Age. I think we are about to see some knights getting produced. Although he is housed at this point. And he's about to lose this villager here to this Eagle Scout. Yeah, so he does manage to lose 1 villager, but where is his house coming up? Okay. And the second TC from Bomberman. What about Overseeker here? Is he going for a second TC, or it's just a single TC push for now? I think Overseeker should go for a 1 TC push. There's no point in trying to outboom Bomberman at this point. Like, Bomberman will have a better eco. And the only way to, comfortably win right now is to basically outproduce your enemy and just make him resign. But yeah, this Eagle Scout play makes no sense to me. Like, these Eagles will die to the Knights very easily. Like, he had sent, I think that was 5 Eagle Scouts, and these 2 Knights basically killed them.
Yep.
And only 1 knight died out of those 2. So Overseeker is going for the pikeman upgrade now, which does make sense. Yeah, so he's going for a few spears and the pikeman upgrade. I just don't see the Eagles working out well as long as Bomberman has knights alive. Like, these Eagles are extremely good raiding units. It's just that Feudal Age Eagle Scouts, they will die to arrow fire from town center as well.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go. So he's actually lost more military than he's killed villagers here.
Yeah. So he has taken more damage than.
Yeah. I mean, see, Eagles are a pretty epic unit for raiding or for killing villagers or whatever. They can be good against archers, but Feudal Age Eagle Scouts with hardly any upgrades makes no sense. Meanwhile, we have Bomberman already going in with those skirms and 2 knights. So the pikes will be countered by the skirms, and these knights are going to do quite a lot of damage to Overseeker's eco here. And Overseeker has these archers, but he's not going for the crossbow upgrade, which I believe he should have done. Because he has quite a few archers here. These archers will die to scones, but instead if he had upgraded them to expose and got botkin on them, it would have been quite nice. And Bomberman here with quite a few more knights. And yeah, so this is basically the standard Franks play where you do a scout rush and then you get to Castle 8, start pumping knights from 2 stables.
Yep.
And Bomberman has 53 villagers to Overseeker's 42. The military numbers have equalized now. The pikes have gone down. So he's just making these eagle warriors, and those archers that were remaining won't be enough to do any sort of damage now. And
There are more knights coming in. I don't think
he's just constantly
raid
pumping
can-
in knights now. Yeah. So he is still on a 2 TC push, right? Yeah. So that's 2 TCs for him, and Overseeker I believe also has 2 TCs. Yeah. But these 2 pikes won't do anything at this point. As long as Bomberman can keep his knights away from those pikes, this is basically a GG. I mean, it's still a GG regardless. Overseeker's at just 36, 37 villagers now. But he's losing some military, Bomberman. Which is, I guess, just a distraction. He's probably focused somewhere else right now. Looking at the eco, Bomberman has, I think, slightly more than the required number of villagers on gold, because he's running short on food. And however, I must accept the fact that he's got constant production of knights coming out. Slightly better military control would have meant more knights staying alive and doing much more damage.
Yep.
But it's still effective, and he's got +2 upgrade now, so he's got plate barding armor. And like at this point, what I would suggest if Bomberman is watching is if he had just, you know, rather than sending these few knights in to die now, as we see Overseeker is giving up on his base, is just collect maybe 15, 16, 18 knights and finish off your opponent. Because that's all it will take. Oh, okay, so Overseeker is not leaving his base. He just sent all his villagers to try and wall in that broken palisade wall. But this is bad. Like, he's got so much idle economy here. He's trying to build farms in the middle of his base effectively. And yeah, that single house is not going to stop anything. Those knights will just attack right next to that and get in from the other palisade wall. So yeah, I guess this is the GG. I mean, even though I don't like to call these games preemptively, there's just a massive difference in the eco. Bomberman has more than twice the number of Overseeker villagers. And even though Bomberman does not have a massive military right now, he has quite a few knights, and these are all +2 knights, so yeah. I think more than anything, it's the lack of difference in the score which is possibly making Overseeker think that the game is closer than it is. Man, Bomberman is on an almighty boom right now. He's on 3 TCs, he's got 82 villagers, and I believe he's about to click up to Imperial in some time. Okay, so he does not have the buildings yet. He's got quite a few villagers on stone, so we should expect to see a castle come up any minute now. He's almost got the required stone. Yeah, so I think this is a small misplay from Bomberman. Rather than wasting these few knights, just collect them and send them together in a bunch of say 20 knights or so, and it would be the GG right now.
Yep. I think the night they found the villagers.
Yeah. So even those.
Oh, what the?
No,
He
no.
just left him.
He is basically just shift clicking them.
Scouting.
Yeah. But we see here now we have Bomberman 7 villagers building a forward castle. No. Build it even closer to the town center, man. Like building it between his gold and his TC would send a much more effective message to Overseeker to resign. I don't like this castle at all. I mean, you have the military, you have the clear lead in the economy. Just put a castle here, man. Make your message extremely clear. And I
I think it's GG.
yeah. I mean, obviously it's GG. Let's just see to the end of the game. And I guess the moment the castle comes up, he'll just pick up to him if Overseeker doesn't resign by then. So yeah. Yeah, and there we go. So Bomberman has picked up to Imperial Age. Meanwhile, Overseeker, I don't think he's in a mood to resign yet because he's got a secret lumber camp which is just slightly next to his base, but he's sent like 10 villagers to the edge of the map.
Forward. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see what he plans to do with these villagers. I would not be surprised to see Bomberman just typing 105 in the chat at this point. Because I mean, fair enough, you have a shitload of gold and you have 34 villagers, but like unless you have a clear game plan on what you're about to do, like this is just playing aimlessly. Wow, Bomberman has played really well here. He's almost up to 100 villagers now, compared to Overseeker's 33, and he's still queued up more villagers. So I guess if it gets to like late Imperial Age, hopefully not. I hope Overseeker resigns before that. But I mean, yeah. Otherwise, I could actually expect to see Bomberman getting to 100 villagers here, which I think is the first time that it has happened in the tournament. Yeah, these villagers are now trying to scatter throughout the map, which is obviously not going to work, and these few Eagle Warriors are not going to be able to do anything. Okay. So yeah, there we go. Overseeker calls the GG. Well played to both the players. I think Bomberman was just better. And I think Overseeker, his initial delay in getting those archery ranges up, where his ranges got delayed by I think it was 6 minutes or something, which is a massive issue. I mean, if he had got those archery ranges up, if he had got like 10-12 archers out, those scouts would have been useless. And another thing is these walls, like you have a shit map, I get it. Both of you guys had a shit map. It's just that Bomberman sort of decided to just play it open and be extremely aggressive rather than trying to, wall up your base and try and boom behind that. And I wonder why Bomberman has built this row of houses here. But I mean, apart from that, yeah, an extremely well played and well executed strategy here. Let's just take a look at the stats. So yeah, I mean, it's
total score is like there's
There's a big difference in that. It's more than double, and yeah. So looking at the KDs here, it's 115 to 54, and the difference here is that the Bomberman's units lost. If you're looking at the number, that's 54 units, but that's 54 army. Whereas the kills that he has gotten, 115, those are, I mean, quite a few of them are villagers, which is why if you look at the society tab, it's like 44 villagers to 98 because Overseeker was not able to even cross 50 villagers at any point in the game. Whereas Bomberman was well on his way to crossing 100. Technology wise, yeah, so that's similar numbers on the Castle Age times. It's just that Overseeker had no military. So, yeah. I mean, he made some Eagle Warriors and some archers, but again, like I said, it was too little too late. And yeah, massive difference in the eco.
Yep.
So, yeah, I guess that wraps it up for the four quarterfinals today. The brackets for the semifinals, I believe, will be announced today, later on. But we already have our four players here, so let's just go through the names. We have Bomberman going into the second semifinals, who will be facing Lakshman. And in the first semifinals, we will have Barun, who will be going up against Butcherati. So should be some interesting games. And the rules for the semi-finals have been announced on the server. So whoever's in the semi-finals, please just take a look at the rules. It will be a best of three, unlike the knockout stage where it was a best of one. And the rules have been posted. So yeah, if you guys have any questions with the rules or how to organize your games, you can just contact me or Ani or Nutbreaker in the chat, and we'll be happy to assist you guys. And yeah, apart from that, I guess that's it from us. The semi-finals will be streamed on Saturday evening. The schedule will be announced on the Discord server, and the finals will actually be streamed live. So that should be a fun day. And we will also have the match for the third place. So the two people who lose in the semi-finals, they will be facing up against each other to decide who's the third best in this tournament. So
Yep.
that will also be streamed live on Sunday itself. So yeah, I guess that's it from us here tonight. I hope you guys, I mean, we hope you guys had fun, and if you guys maybe learned a couple of things from me. But
Yes, definitely.
yeah. So apart from that, yeah, it's basically good. I mean, it's still 6:30 p.m. here, so it's good evening to all of you, and we'll see you on Saturday. Bye.
Definitely. Okay.